We're all familiar with pirates, whether if they're of the Caribbean or Somalian. And we're also familiar with pirates of a digital kind that would download a car. But in a day and age where almost everything requires a subscription service, I can see why one might resort to downloading cars. I mean piracy. I should also say that I don't pirate anything and I do not condone piracy of any media and that it's both unethical and illegal. Alrighty, now that I've satisfied the corporations, let's take a look at what gets pirated and how much money is lost. One of the first victims of piracy is the music industry. It still is a pretty big victim too, but thanks to these old programs that started it all, it never ended. One guy even made a career in music thanks to one of these programs. It's this guy. Anyways, recently, the music industry has lost this much money in recent years thanks to piracy. According to Google, that is. Now, the second industry to lose money from piracy is the gaming industry, but there isn't much data that shows how much money is lost, only that it's said to be in the billions. Again, that's according to Google. The thing is, though, is that piracy in gaming is pretty much widely accepted and it's not frowned upon. That is if a game is so old that there's no way to buy the game in a way that supports the developer that made it. The games have to be old enough so that it can be classified as abandonware, which brings up an interesting debate about the ethics and legality regarding the piracy of ancient software. I'd talk more about it, but that's its own topic. Anyways, let's move on to possibly the biggest victim of piracy, the movies and TV industry. This industry has lost so much money over the past few decades and continues to do so. This is how much they lost in recent years according to Google. I don't have much to say about it because there's nothing to say. Anyways, she was a pay-for-streaming services girl, and he was a... you get the point. Now, I would say that's all, but I'd also like to give an honorable mention to pirating pay-per-view services or events. This is something that, believe it or not, is on the level of pirating movies and TV shows, and it's something that's been done for quite a while. If you're into sports, specifically of the combat variety, then there's a chance you're watching UFC cards on an illegal streaming site, or whatever sport or event that you're into that requires pay-per-view. Like I said earlier, I don't condone any of this, but there's a subscription service for almost everything these days. So who's really being protected here? The consumers or the corporations? And given that this video is kind of about corporations, never divulge your personal information on the internet, especially to corporations. Take care, everyone.